Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Kingdoms of Amalur Re-Reckoning with me, Bring It On. Let's enter Aegon's tomb. Okay, not quite as big as I was expecting. I mean, it's impressive for a tomb, but I was expecting a full-blown dungeon. Mystic Hammer remains. The decayed remains of what once was the Mystic Hammer. Travel to Ironfast Keep. Okay, well. Not what I was expecting to open this episode with. Not that exciting. Alright, to the Hollowlands. Right, because that's next on the... Yep. Thou net a 6% fire resist. Motus mining outpost.
Always bring headwear, lest the sun burn you down. Before I came here.
Alex Anatole.
Name's Alex. Alex Anatole. Let me know if you've got any equipment that needs repairing. I'll get it back to you as good as new.
Alright, we'll start with that. Our Aaron excavations.
They're Motus Mining's only competition out here. They set up shop first, actually, but they're just about finished. When Motus moved in, they lured the Aaron workers with promise of higher wages. Aaron excavations never recovered. I hear the foreman, Edgar Aaron, is pretty bitter about it. He still hasn't left, though. Probably holding on to the hope he can get his business running again.
Okay, Hollowlands.
It's a dangerous region for sure. There are beasts out there just waiting to tear a gnome apart. The mining operations here have run into a real wall when it comes to the local wildlife. Take heed and learn from their hardship. Make sure you're well equipped, and don't hesitate to ask for repairs.
I like that self-plug you had at the end.
Get in the sands.
Don't be afraid to ask for repairs. Oh, by the way, I do repairs. Yeah, sure, we'll grab all that. I started this
I'm
alone.
warning you, there are terrible fae along the path to the mine. Horrible fae.
Okay, Saltwell Caverns.
I've heard tales of terrifyingly scarred men appearing at the entrance of the caverns from time to time. I don't care why they're there, I just don't want them anywhere near me.
Sensible. Motus mining.
Edessa could not have been built without the Motus mining interest.
Enter Guru.
Scholar of mineralogy, Motus mining, and unwitting adventurer. A pleasure to make your acquaintance, I'm sure.
Okay, Cloudcrest.
It's a place of mystery and intrigue. No one knows what lurks at the top, though everyone's got a guess.
Okay, why? What's on the ledge?
Horrible Fae! I got 10 paces up the slope when they accosted me, just like the miners said. What's a scholar to do against hordes of vicious beasts? One of those boggarts, oh, it shook its fist at me.
Oh goodness. Are you supposed to go up there?
Yes, and find out what's wrong. Now that I've found it, and have no desire to investigate further.
What exactly did you see?
There were boggarts, lots of boggarts. And I think I saw a thresh. I was rather too busy running to note the particulars.
Alright, well let's go take a look.
Well, if you were willing to go first, I would have no objection to trailing behind at a safe distance.
Alright, where do we go from here?
To the Canyon Hill site at the top of the ledge, where a cadre of Fae awaits to rip us to shreds, no doubt.
I always pronounce that as Cotter, or Cater,
Lead the
not
way.
Cadra. Alright, we're not doing that right now, buddy. So you just wait there patiently, and I will return. Probably. Oh, I think this guy was supposed to send us up there. A pool Vire.
Any sign of that worthless scholar? Didn't see him near the eastern ledge, did you?
I like the way this guy looks. Saltwell Caverns.
I received reports of strange happenings in those caverns. One of the workers claimed he saw horrifically scarred men wandering near Saltwell Mouth.
A Motus mining village.
If it weren't for the beast lurking at our doorstep every day, I'd find this place quaint. As it is, I can barely retain my sanity. Capstan Odvar runs an inn and serves as our chief of security.
A Hollowlands.
A forsaken, wretched wasteland with more beasts than grains of sand. Still, by the domes of Odessa, I'll not see this venture fail.
Okay, Enter Guru.
He's a weak-eyed, knock-kneed, biscuit-biting excuse for a scholar. Well, he's the one I've got, so that's that.
Cloudcrest.
I've seen some strange things. Flickers and flashes from the top of that mountain. No idea what causes it, and I don't want none. We've got our hands full down here as it is.
Aaron Excavations.
They were our biggest competition. And they discovered this site, actually. When we caught wind of it, we made sure to get up here with a bag of gold for each of his workers. So they promised to work for us instead, of course. Work like a charm. Poor Edgar had never found a way to recover from that. There's no one else to run his mine. He probably couldn't find the money to pay them even if he found new staff. If I sound proud of us, it's 'cause I am. It was a big victory for Motus.
Okay. You want me to help Enter?
What I'd really like is for all the twisted, biting, howling things in this desert to just go away. But I'll settle for what help I can get opening that damn mine.
Okay.
Good day.
Yeah, I really like his eye patch. It's like a little shield. Motus Mining Outpost. Okay. Can't open that footlocker for whatever reason.
Before I came here,
Motus Reports 5. A quality mediocre. Examine the output of the dig over the last month, measuring the bulk of ore that was successfully mined compared to the rock needed to be removed to obtain it. In general, yields are 1 part ore for every 30 parts refuse. Less than ideal, but we can maintain profits if we have the miners working double shifts to make up for the losses. Typical corporate strategy, it sounds like. Capstan Odvar.
You look well armed. Aren't you here about the Krullock? We have a vicious one on our hands. It's about the desert, killing any workers it can catch. How in blazes it developed a taste for gnome flesh, only that damn thing knows. Confound it. Between the Canyon Hill incident and that beast, our schedule's ground to a halt.
Doesn't look like he's loaded in all the way. Saltwell Caverns.
I've heard bizarre tales about those caves. The workers swear they've seen ghastly men, ravaged by some plague or foul magic, pacing round the entrances.
Room.
We don't have separate rooms, but we've got beds upstairs. It'll cost you, though. We're the closest thing to an inn for leagues around us. Are you enjoying your stay? Those beds aren't luxurious, but they're better than sleeping on the ground.
Motus Mining.
I've heard the rumors. They might be saints or bastards, but they've coin to spare, and that's enough for me.
Hollowlands.
Know it as well as my own calloused hand. That's why they pay me good gold to sit here. You won't find much on the surface here, but trapped below is the salvation of Odessa's future. We've the raw materials under our feet to equip entire armies, and that's why you'll find Motus Mining and, such as it is, Aegon excavations digging here.
Dunehead Mine.
Canyon Hill is up the eastern ledge. That's the one that spooked the miners. The Dunehead operation's hardly begun thanks to a vicious Croddock.
Okay. Cloudcrest.
No one knows what's at the top of Cloudcrest, but that don't stop folks speculating. I've heard the first Fae set foot in Amalur came from there. That'd explain why there are so many of them in Detir.
Capstan Advar.
Once word got out that Edgar Aaron had found this mineral-rich site, Motus rushed to get an operation set up here. I'm all the muscle they bothered to send. I'm the lone guard Motus hired to protect this place. They've given me a Chief of Security title, but that means nothing when I've got no men to command. Now we've got a Croddock that's more than a match for a small army. I know better than to go out there alone.
So he's gonna send me out there alone instead. Bloodbane.
We don't know where it got a taste for the gnome miners, but it's been terrorizing the Dunehead mine. Motus is offering a considerable bounty for its demise.
Aegon Excavations.
They were the first mining operation here in the Hollowlands. Foreman by the name of Edgar Aaron. Rumor has it he spent every coin he had building his mine. When Motus moved in, they waved bags of gold in the faces of Aaron's workers. The next day, they all jumped ship. It's tragic, but it's business.
Okay, Croddock is attacking miners.
You got the picture. Don't know how the damned old thing got a taste for him, but once it gets an idea, there's no stopping it. We've put a price on its hide, but who'd be crazy enough to earn it?
Yeah, I'd try.
Well, you sure? All right, it's your funeral. You should speak to Edgar Aaron of Aaron Excavations. He'll know how to find Bloodbane. Edgar's lived in the Hollowlands longer than any of us.
How do I find the Croddock?
Speak to Edgar Aaron of Aaron's Excavations. He's been in the Hollowlands longer than any of us. He'll know how to find Bloodbane. I'll warn you, though, Edgar's bitter about Motus luring away his workers away with higher wages. He probably finds the situation ironic now that Bloodbane is attacking Dunehead Mine.
Edgar Aaron.
He's the foreman of the other mine here. He knows a thing or two about the Hollowlands. Been surveying this place long before Motus moved in. He ran Aaron Excavations until Motus hired his workers out from under him. It's tough, but that's business. I'm not sure what he's up to these days, but he hasn't left.
Competing mine.
Aaron Excavations. They're the other mining operation in the Hollowlands. Motus's only competition. Not particularly stiff competition, mind you. Especially since Motus wooed all of Aaron's miners with much higher wages. You look like you can take care of yourself.
I definitely can.
The problem with Apatir is they
We're not even to the settlement yet either, which is over here, Overlook Camp. It's not doesn't seem like it's going to be a full-blown settlement. Just a couple of outposts. We'll try and clear out both the outposts. Can I get up there from here? Or is it going to be a cliff face? Looks like it's going to be a cliff face. cliff face, not clip face. I know what I'm saying. Well, since we're over here. Well, this is an interesting creature. I wonder if it's supposed to be a bird or... I don't see... Well, this might be a wing. Yep, no, that's definitely a wing. Okay. Jeez. I wonder if we get an explanation for that, for this, this creature or not.
In ancient times, the desert had no shade. The sun burned the land to ruin. The rivers disappeared, and the animals hid underground. The people cried to Helios for mercy, but he didn't answer their prayers. As the plants withered in the heat, the Hollowlands echoed with the crackle of fires.
Calavar.
I watch them day by day, their foolish meddling scampering to separate one piece of earth from a slightly different piece of earth. They know that the land will endure, will heal any wounds mortals can inflict. But I worry that these wounds may be long to heal. I cannot act, I am bound by our beliefs. But an agent of change could cauterize these wounds by making the century plants bloom.
Okay, the gnomes.
The little mortals, you mean? Forever cutting, clearing, digging, will they never stop? Won't they tire of it and go away?
Hollowlands.
In ages past, we danced in circles on the dunes and sang sweet songs to the distant peaks. Now I alone walk here, while Arenda dreams in reverie below.
Century plants.
Normally they blossom only every 100 years. The land stirs and wakens, and what was worn away rejuvenates. That is the way of things.
A Calavar.
I shepherd the surface, while Arenda sleeps beneath. I await the day when I may lay down to rest, as Arenda does, beneath the sands. The mortal's growing influence in this world wearies me.
Arenda.
Have you met her? Fair and dark as the night itself. She will sleep until my time is past. Then I will lie down and dream while she walks the sands.
How do you make them bloom?
Oh, I cannot make them bloom, not now. When the time is right, one fey whisper will do. You mortals are not bound as we are. You can grow such things out of season.
What will this do?
You wouldn't know with these little mortals here, but these lands are a fey place. And fey places need refreshing from time to time. The blooming of the century plants is the fastest route of recovery.
Why do they need to bloom?
The century plants have deep ties to the pulse marrow of the land. Their breath wakens the desert, causes the rocks to stir and grow.
Alright, and what would I have to do?
A friend of the sands. You'll do what needs doing. You will need petrichor. Here's a skinful I have gathered.
But first, you must ready the plant with fire. Only after fire will they drink the petrichor. There are 3 century plants in this land just now. Make all 3 bloom, and all will be well.
Petrichor.
The smell of the earth after rain. I have gathered it over years in that skin.
How do I make the plants bloom?
For each of the 3 upon the sands, scorch it with fire, then slake it with the petrichor I gave you. Farewell.
Okay, sounds easy enough. Let's try and get to this overlook camp. Finish talking to the NPCs here. We're not even to the overlook camp yet.
There's no work here for you, stranger. Check with Motus if you're looking for a job. You'll not find one with us.
Workers.
I hired a small army of gnomes to help me with the mine. Spent a lot of money transporting them here and gave them a good living. And the miserable bastards have the gall to leave me for Motus.
Motus mining.
They call themselves a mining operation. They're more like a thieves' den. I was in the Hollowlands long before they ever set up shop. Once they got settled, they offered better wages to my workers. Every single one of them is working for Motus now. I couldn't compete with that kind of money.
Edgar Aaron.
I've spent a lot of time here in the Hollowlands, living off the soil and the wildlife. I thought I'd finally made a living for myself when I discovered the mineral deposits here. Not sure what I'll do now that Motus has stolen my workers, but I'll think of something. Motus will get theirs someday.
Cloudcrest.
I've lived in the Hollowlands for a time. Seen lights and heard rumbles from the top that could have been the world's quietest storm, or very powerful magic. Mark my words, there's something happening up there.
Okay. I'd like some info on the Krudok.
Capstan sent you my way, did he? Yes, I'm familiar with old Bloodbane. This Krudok is extremely protective of a particular pack of brownies. The surest way to draw it out of hiding is to attack those brownies. They help Bloodbane hunt, you see. I'll mark their territory on your map for you. Good luck. No one's been able to best the creature yet, and it would be unfortunate if you didn't make it back.
Okay. Alright, can't get in there yet. I'm sure we'll have stuff to do here later. Alright, so if we can make it to the Overlook Camp next. I'm sure there's more NPCs to talk to there. If I can find a way to get there. Hey, I don't want to dance with me. What did I tell you? A cave merkin without a cave. More Sons of Laz, okay. Still don't know why they're called Sons of Laz. I'm assuming it's a quest we haven't run across yet, or it's a quest that I forgot about. Well, if I needed the Silver Knight set, I'd have it. Shoes of Seasons. These garments are all that remains of the mystical Summer Fae House of Seasons. Oh wait, we've read that before. It's not our first run-in with that.
What is it?
What is it?
This is the main quest, isn't it? Or one of the main quests? Yeah. It's one that knows where Farmer's Hughes is. Templar Octian.
You are my contact. I should have known. Punctuality is not one of your people's strengths, and you have so few.
Yeah, to get a little off track, didn't I? Went and dealt with the Legend of Dead Kel. Dealt with everything in Rathir first. Yeah, okay. He's got a point. Templars.
My fellow Templars and I sponsor research that will lead to the betterment of all mortals. Sadly, Alfar and man alike often have trouble accepting the reason behind our decisions. But most gnomes realize we have their best interests in mind.
Okay, Octian.
As Templar, the Forum demands that I do everything in my power to advance our knowledge. It is a tremendous responsibility, and one I take quite seriously. Motus Hughes is one of my most brilliant scholars, and as you know, his research shows tremendous potential. His recovery is of paramount importance.
Okay, Farmer's Hughes.
His knowledge is invaluable, and must not fall into the wrong hands. And I'm terribly worried about his safety too, of course. That goes without saying.
Odessa.
Odessa is the greatest bastion of knowledge and understanding in the world. Alfar have their arts, mankind as its gods. But our only commandments are the solid, predictable laws of natural science.
Okay, you asked for me?
You may recall our mutual friend, Motus Hughes. The gnome who brought you back to life? I suspect you would. But I gather you've been quite busy. Well, Scholar Hughes has been missing since the attack on his tower. As his patron, I am quite concerned. I want you to find him. You are, how shall I say, uniquely suited to the task.
Can I trust you?
I could ask the same question. For all I know, Motus Hughes is on the run from you. I am willing to assume that's not the case. Simply put, you may be my only chance of locating Hughes, just as I may be yours.
Okay. Why do you seek Hughes?
Don't be obtuse. I am his patron. As such, I own everything that Scholar Hughes produces. I suppose that includes you as well. The secrets in his laboratories are meant for gnome eyes only. They must be controlled at any cost.
Okay. Can't you find him?
It would seem the incident in Alistar made Scholar Hughes a touch paranoid. Every time we receive a clue about his location, he vanishes before I can reach him. But he's running out of places to hide. It's my opinion that there's one hope left to finding Hughes. You.
Alright, I'll find Hughes for you.
And I'm grateful. Scholar Hughes is quite fortunate to have friends like us. Hughes has an old laboratory in the cavern of Saltwell Mines. I believe he's been conducting research there since the destruction of Alistar Tower. Find him, and you will be rewarded for your contribution to science. I will await your success in the Librarium in Odessa.
Interesting. Alright, so Saltwell Mines is where the, or caverns, is where those scarred men have been seen, so obviously he's still experimenting. But maybe he isn't all there anymore. Where is Hughes hiding?
He may have returned to his old laboratory in Saltwell Mines. But if any of my people approach, he'll flee. He's quite paranoid, for good reason.
Okay. Well, we have our quests. Quite a few to boot. Shadowthorn. Okay, well, let's grab... that quest. We can probably pursue some of this, right? Let's get to the next checkpoint for it. Help out our little scholar buddy that we ran across. Don't remember his name. But this guy. Answer Guru. Yay! Wait, sprite soldiers? Never seen them called soldiers before. And they seem weaker than regular sprites, where normal sprites take 2 hits to take out. These guys are only taking 1. Not very impressive. Discover this location? Or... nope, I did not. Hello... oh wait, Arenda. She's supposed to be sleeping.
Another, come to steal the light. Come to trouble the reverie.
No. The light.
Long, long ago, I wandered lost in the dark of night. I cried a pool into a rocky basin, and starlight gathered there. I fashioned this into a jewel, and by its light found my way home. Is it any wonder that I hold it so dear?
Reverie.
When I became aware the light was gone, the shell of the reverie cracked, and my dream self wandered free.
Calavar.
He and I are two, where there once were many. We lived then wild on dune and crag. Now he watches the waking day, and I tend to the dreaming murmurs of the stone.
Arenda.
I long to return to the reverie. While Calavar walks the sands, I must sleep.
And what are these Fae doing?
They are my friends, drawn here as I drift between the dream world and the world of the waking. The light, source of solace, snuck in, sharp knives, soft feet, stole the jewel from my side. Took it northward, through the narrow rocks, to their village of wood and cloth.
Okay. And sir? Where you at, buddy? Saying he's over here to the... oh, there he is.
It's beginning to make sense. This Fae maiden is real, but I believe we're speaking to a projection of her as she dreams. There is a Fae hollow under this mine, where I'll wager she sleeps. And these other Fae, they are drawn to the power of this projection. Restoring to her this light she speaks of might calm things down. Find me at the Motus mining office when you return it to her. I'll make sure you're duly compensated.
Appearance of the Fae.
No, I feel quite certain. The maiden we see here is a projection of her dream self, as she calls it. The real Fae is asleep, somewhere in the hollow below us, I'll wager. And these other wild Fae are drawn to the power she exudes while in this form.
Alright, and what do I do now?
Most likely return what was stolen to the Fae maid within the hollow. That is how these things tend to go.
Okay. I'll smell you later, crocodile. So it says I have to get to the mine first, right? That's what it indicated. It says I have to find the light, which is all the way over here. Why is this mine even here? Do I need to go into the mine? I don't know. Probably not.
Sharp knives.
Regardless, I'm gonna call the episode here. In the next one, we'll pursue this quest line and knock out some more quests for the in the Hollowlands. Probably finish mapping it out as well. Hopefully, find all the lore stones so I get that 6% fire resist, I think, or is it fire damage? Nope, 6% fire resist. Looking forward to that. Can I see my elemental resistances? I don't think that you can. Okay. Regardless, I'm going to call it here. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you guys in the next episode.